Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to take a tour of the most amazing factory you've never actually seen, even though it's working inside you right this very second. We're going to follow a single bite of food on an absolutely incredible journey through your digestive system.
I mean, you chew, you swallow, and then what? What really happens down there? Well, that one little bite kicks off a chain of events that is way more complex and, frankly, more fascinating than you probably think.
And get this, that journey is nearly 30 feet long. 30 feet! It's like a whole internal factory. So let's do it. We're going to follow that single bite from the front door all the way to the shipping department, station by station, and see exactly how your body turns it into fuel.
Okay, so our tour starts right where you'd expect, at the factory's main entrance, the oral cavity, or as we all call it, the mouth. And believe it or not, digestion fires up the instant that food gets in there. So right away, it's all about prep work. Your teeth provide the mechanical breakdown. That's a process called mastication. At the exact same time, your saliva starts the chemical breakdown and gets everything lubricated, creating this neat, easy-to-swallow package called a bolus.
Now, once you swallow, you might think gravity just takes over, right? Nope. The bolus doesn't just fall down. The esophagus, this muscular tube, grabs it and uses these powerful wave-like contractions called peristalsis to actively push the food down. It's basically a sophisticated one-way conveyor belt.
At the end of that conveyor belt, there's a critical gatekeeper, the lower esophageal sphincter. It's a one-way valve. Its whole job is to let food in, but keep powerful stomach acid out. But, sometimes the factory has glitches. When that valve gets leaky, acid can flow backward. It refluxes. And that's what causes that burning pain we call heartburn, which is a key symptom of GERD.
All right, so after passing through that gate, our little food bolus drops into a seriously powerful mixing chamber. We're talking a true acid vat, the stomach.
Yeah, you can think of the stomach as the factory's main mixing tank. Its muscular walls are just constantly churning everything, blending it all with potent gastric juices. This isn't just about storage, it's an aggressive breakdown process that turns solid food into the soupy mixture called chyme, getting it perfectly prepared for the next stage.
But what happens when this acid vat itself gets irritated? A very common factory glitch is something called gastritis, which is an inflammation of the stomach's protective lining. And that medical term, well, it actually gives us a huge clue about what's going on.
Let's do a little word surgery. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. The first part, gastro, that just refers to the stomach. And the suffix iditis, that just means inflammation. So gastritis literally means stomach inflammation. See? So many medical terms are just built like that, piece by piece. And if that inflammation keeps going, or if that protective mucus lining gets worn down, the acid can actually start to erode the tissue itself. That's when you get these painful open sores that we know as peptic ulcers. Okay, our food has been thoroughly mixed into chyme. Now it's slowly released into the longest and, you could absolutely argue, the most important section of the entire factory, the nutrient extraction line. Welcome to the small intestine, and this is just wild. This coiled-up tube is about 20 feet long in the average adult. This is the main event. This is the nutrient extraction zone, where the real business of digestion gets done. So how in the world does a 20-foot tube absorb so much? Well, the secret is all about surface area. The inner wall isn't smooth at all. It's covered in millions of these tiny, finger-like projections called villi. This incredible structure is how your body so efficiently pulls all the vitamins, minerals, and energy from your food directly into your bloodstream. But here's the thing. The small intestine does not work alone. No way. It gets critical support from a whole team of accessory organs. The liver, gallbladder, and pancreas are like these specialized chemical plants on the side, producing and delivering bile and enzymes right when they're needed to break down all the fats, proteins, and carbs. It's just this perfectly coordinated effort. And this delicate system really highlights what goes wrong in a condition like celiac disease. Here, the body's own immune system mistakenly attacks and actually flattens those vital villi whenever gluten is present. And with that damage, the body simply can't absorb the nutrients it needs, which leads to something called malabsorption.
All right, after all the good stuff has been extracted, what's left of our original bite of food? Well, it now moves into the final processing station, the waste management department.
The large intestine, or the colon, handles 3 final jobs. First, it's the water reclamation center, absorbing most of the water from the waste. Second, a massive crew of helpful bacteria helps break down the very last bits of material. And finally, it compacts the leftovers into feces and sends it to the storage bay, the rectum, for final elimination.
Many of the most common digestive complaints that we all hear about are glitches right here in this final stage, and it often just comes down to timing. If waste moves through too slowly, the colon absorbs too much water, and that leads to constipation. If it moves through too quickly, there isn't enough time to absorb the water, which results in diarrhea.
Now, more serious conditions get grouped together under inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD, but it's so important to understand the key difference between the 2 main types. Ulcerative colitis is very targeted. It affects only the colon's innermost lining. Crohn's disease, on the other hand, is much broader. It can appear anywhere in the GI tract, all the way from the mouth to the anus, and the inflammation can go deep through every layer of tissue.
So, after this incredible 30-foot journey, what does this all mean for you? How can you help keep your own internal food processing factory running at its best?
Well, the user manual for a happy gut points to a few key things. Think of a high-fiber diet and plenty of fluids as the basic maintenance that keeps the factory's conveyor belts running smoothly. You also need to be your own quality control manager. Pay attention to which foods cause you discomfort. And crucially, manage your stress. Stress is like a power surge to the factory that can disrupt the entire operation.
Ultimately, this whole digestive process is a daily conversation between you and your body. By understanding the journey, you're so much better equipped to listen to the signals it sends you, whether it's comfort, discomfort, or anything in between, and to truly appreciate the amazing work it does day in and day out.